Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as promised, I wanted to do a video with my Virginia Giuffre's deposition thoughts in the same way that I did for Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition. So this is that video, and I wanted to start off with a few key facts because I think in itself that's just very, very telling. And also I wanted to kind of give you some key differences, just high level facts that I found out about the depositions themselves. So, and I just think that's just really, really telling in itself. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for all of your comments on all of the depositions, by the way. And if you followed all of them, then really thank you. Yeah, as I say, I've been really, really enjoying them. So what I did was exactly the same as what I did for the Ghislaine Maxwell deposition, whereby I took the PDF document, the deposition itself, converted it into a Word document, and then searched out different phrases and different words just to see kind of how many times they come up. I did it with Ghislaine Maxwell's purely because there were so many key things that just kept coming up, and I just thought it'd be really interesting. So for example, the amount of objections that was actually said throughout the whole thing, and the amount of times that she said, "I don't know," or repeat the question. There was just some real key things. And I just wanted to do exactly the same with Virginia's. And I think the most telling thing was the real high level kind of facts. So Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition in total was 94,248 words, as opposed to Virginia's, whose was 67,266 words. You've then got Ghislaine Maxwell's, the amount of paragraphs in her deposition, and hers was 13,211, whereas Virginia's was 295. So that's a pretty huge difference. So with pages, actually the amount of pages per deposition, so Ghislaine Maxwell's was 506 pages long, whereas Virginia's was 164 pages long. And I just think the biggest thing out of those really, really high level facts about the deposition just says a lot, because Ghislaine's was a lot longer, a lot more lengthy, loads more words, loads more pages, but literally you learn nothing. I mean, having read through that whole document, and I had to go over kind of things a few times at some points, literally she gave nothing away. She didn't want to help. She just didn't want to talk at all or give any kind of information, just about anything, which, as I said in the video on Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition thoughts, that is just very telling to me in itself. That just screams to me that you've got something to hide. But something that I do when I'm doing the depositions, and I think it gets stronger as I get more into the deposition itself, is I then start to create characters almost, so that you can start to distinguish between kind of who is speaking. And I think it was Miss Menninger, like the all right, like I know that she kept saying all right, like throughout the whole thing, and that kind of started to become a bit of her character for me almost. And it's these moments that I suppose, yeah, like in Ghislaine Maxwell's, I just knew that I don't know, and can you repeat the question? I just knew that they was going to come up like hundreds of times, which they did. So, yeah. It's there was nothing in Virginia's that kept coming up all the time, like repeating. There really wasn't. I searched out in exactly the same way, like lots and lots of phrases. Even objection, which was super high, like ridiculously high in Ghislaine Maxwell's, that didn't. It was there, but certainly nowhere near as much. So yeah, it was just quite interesting. But straight away with Ghislaine Maxwell's, there was just a real, I don't know, you can almost, with the words, you can tell the kind of tone, and it just felt very smug. It felt, why am I even here? I shouldn't even be answering these questions. Whereas with Virginia's, I just felt there was just an honesty, and I felt it was much more open, and you know, and there was times when I could genuinely feel, you know, the hurt that she felt, I have to say. And so she did quite a few quite long paragraphs, and that was where she was kind of really trying to explain how she was feeling, and you know, and she would go into some detail in terms of the effects that it's had on her life, and you know, and the reasons for doing what she's doing. And I just think, you know, that just really come across, the honesty and more of a truthful version. I personally felt that was more of a truthful version than what Ghislaine Maxwell's words that she used in her deposition was. That's just how I felt, having now read both of them. They kept going down the money route with Virginia to basically try and show that, you know, she's doing this for money, and that it didn't happen, that she's a liar, and it's, you know, it's very money driven, it's very money motivated, etc. And yeah, I just don't, again, as I was reading through it, I just didn't feel that. I think if you've experienced something like that, and you know, why wouldn't you? And this is a compensation case. At the end of the day, I know she went into great detail about how, you know, you Google her name and it comes up, and that must be really, really tough. It's bad enough trying to find a job, regardless of having to deal with that stuff and being plastered all over everything when, you know, when that is the situation, when you want to go out to work. But yeah, it must be really, really hard. And I felt a lot of sympathy towards that. I really did. I know that Michael gave a really, really great explanation as to why the defence lawyers are actually going down the case of kind of money and book deals and everything. So yeah, that was really interesting to read. So thank you so much for putting that through. It was very long, so I did actually get a cup of tea to read it. The deposition for me just felt like a very open, honest conversation. Yes, there were times when she was obviously being pushed, but even when she was pushed, she didn't get angry. She kept her calm. There was no banging the fists on the table or anything of that. There was some kind of frustrating times, I think. But again, I just felt she was just very, very clear in terms of, well, this is what's happened. These are the people that have done this to me. And, you know, this is what I'm doing to try and move forward with it. As I said in my last video, I will be doing update videos on the Ghislaine Maxwell case, kind of from now all the way up till next July, and then obviously covering the case itself. And something that I have heard in the last few days is that there could be a Ghislaine Maxwell deposition part 2. The one that has already been released in October, that one was videotaped and undertaken in April of 2016. Another deposition was taken of Ghislaine Maxwell in July 2016 because of the lack of any kind of answers. Yeah, because they needed to ask her questions and they wanted to get some answers. So that may be being released, and as I understand it, she is kind of fighting with the kind of courts to try and not have that released in the same way that the first one wasn't released. However, it will be very interesting to see if that is going to be actually released. Apparently it's even more explosive. Those are the words that I keep hearing when I'm researching, but we'll see. Who knows? Who knows what will happen. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the depositions. I'd really, really love to hear your thoughts. I will leave all of the links to the playlists if you haven't seen any of the depositions, as they are both on there. And I will see you soon for another video. Thanks, guys.